Over the last few days, I've been the videos I've seen on my YouTube feed and have been sort of mentioning death. I even saw a live show which was recorded about half a year ago or something by my favorite artist in Go and Ring. He talked about graveyards and death and so on, and I've always have, I mean, like for example in Oslo I had a place in the graveyard where I used to go and just contemplate, play the flute, practice the flute, because the dead can't be bothered by practice. And yeah, it was just kind of my spot. And I listened to the one album by Holger, what's his name now, the founder of Can, the band, you know, Holger Tsukai, who died maybe last year or something. So yeah, and I just looked through my notes and I wanted to read something. This is not a farewell letter or anything like that, just some notes. Here it goes. It's for the moment unthinkable and the odds are against it. However, it's inevitable. You and me will die. The further away from youth we reach, the closer to our physical death we arrive. So if I would die today, I just have these few lines to say. I will now depart to the eternal, and there I will have my love for you intact, my wife, my children. I leave with that, and I leave as I was, embracing it all, giving my best. So that was a death poem. And I just want to find the Swedish one I did. Okay, so here's a poem in Swedish. You won't understand, but yeah, it doesn't matter. En dikt om döden är en dikt om livet. Hyllning till livet är en bikt till döden. När sinnets närvaro sig slukat svart, då ska döden den taga till en helt ny plats. Då platsen ej finns någonstans bevarad, blir det ord och minnen som till platsen bringer. För den levande som en gång var, finns det nu plats i var och envar. Yeah, just a weird synchronization of the topic of death and the ending of things. And yeah, as I mentioned, I watched my favorite artist just having a sort of live show recorded, and he also mentioned somebody who had died who he knew. So I came to think about it, because even my wife and I can sometimes talk about, you know, the future, and like when, I mean, if you reach the old age, you perhaps don't have so much left to do, to actively do and accomplish. Of course you can have daily routines to keep your mind and body doing things, but you might get to the point where you actually look back on life more than you look forward towards life, which we do at this moment. And also the sort of physical thing of losing people. Yeah, and even the taxi driver yesterday, you know, he lost his sister in the war here. So it's just that these last 48 hours have been so many like death topics, from like the taxi driver, the music concert, you know, the albums I listened to. Of course most music is anyway made by dead musicians by now, so or the best music anyway. Yeah, and I just wanted to share this and end this with the thing that, you know, really take this opportunity, because you still have something to look forward to. You still have things to do and accomplish, because there will come a time where your leg or hip might get bad, or who knows what might happen. There will come a time where you will have to look back on what was, and in much more in a much greater quantity than actually, you know, looking forward to be doing something. And yeah, as my wife said, you know, I mean, you know, we can imagine ourselves being sort of old and, you know, having wrinkles all over our faces, and yeah, and still sort of see the kind of, you know, wet, sparkly thing in the eyes when we look towards one another, and sort of, you know, have that connection of, yeah, we did it. So yeah, just do it. Take care and all the best. Ciao.